recorded.
Guys, welcome to the 22nd episode of the Journey for Greatness podcast. And we're excited today. We got a gentleman on board, LJ from West Virginia. We've connected with him on Instagram. And LJ, we noticed your page. You know, honestly, we noticed your hustle, your grinding. You're along the same lines as us in terms of just a lot of the posts that you put up, and we connected. And I don't know if it was you that DM'd us or we DM'd you, but we really thought, you know, this was a gentleman we wanted to get on and have a conversation with, and we appreciate you taking time out to hang with us and chat. So basically, you know, like Diddy and I, Eric and I say, we don't really have a script. We just wanted to start from the beginning and let you, you know, talk about just really briefly who you are, and we'll just get the ball rolling.
Nice. I mean, you know, everybody calls me LJ, so that's what I go by. Like you were talking about, like, you know, just another human being out here trying to inspire others, you know, when they kind of, you know, have those moments where they're just not feeling like themselves or have lost themselves and whatnot, just because I would want the same thing as a fellow human being. So, you know, like my page is set up where, you know, I realized like my page was private, and I kept like finding quotes, or I would like create quotes, and I was like, you know, what's the point in having, you know, this knowledge if you're not going to share it? You know, this could impact somebody else or help somebody else who's going through something. So I started thinking, I was like, it's selfish of me as a human being not to share, you know, experiences and, you know, motivational or inspirational things to other people that may need it in their time of need. Like, how can I call myself a human being if I'm trying to keep all of the knowledge and, you know, emotions and thoughts to myself? So I was like, you know, I need to share stuff. If I come across something, you know, it might not personally like relate to me. However, it may really resonate with someone else. So I just kind of got on this kick out, you know, I'm going to open up my page and I'm going to open up my life and my heart and who I am and let people kind of see that I actually care. I may not know you, but I care. You know, I've met a lot of people on Instagram, you know, and whatnot that are just like, wow, your page, you know, like, you know, or they'll be going through something like, you know, I've had people that'll, you know, be going through something on their personal life, and I'll send them a message and just be like, look, you're not alone. Like, when you're at your depth and you're going through so much in life, that's the worst feeling that you could ever have, is feeling like you're alone. And as a fellow human being, you're not alone. Like, I care about you genuinely. I want nothing from you because it's unconditional, but I care about you. So you're not alone.
Let me ask you this. So, listening to what you just said, and, you know, you started a page, putting up inspirational quotes. As Tom said, I'm pretty sure you mentioned it when he introduced you, you're an aspiring physical therapist along with a culinary degree. Where did this come from? I know we've talked to you before. Again, you know that you want to go down the physical therapist, a culinary route. Mm-hmm. Where did this motivation start? Where did it come from? What was the idea? Kind of give us some background on that.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, like, it kind of started when I was a kid. Like, I grew up with my grandma and my mom and everybody, like, cooking. Like, that was our love language. You know, we cooked for people. And I saw how happy they were when it came to cooking. And I was like, wow, I want to find something that I'm happy about, that I'm passionate about. You know, so throughout life, I tried, like, you know, different careers and different things. And it always led me to become a counselor, you know, to start off because I'm a counselor now. But the more I got into exercise and fitness, I realized that when you're a counselor, it's not just a counselor in the gym, you know, or it's not just a counselor as emotional stuff. It's a counselor in the gym. It's like a life counselor. It's a person who, you know, sees something in someone that they might not see themselves. You know, I was like, there's something that I can do. And I started trying to reflect on myself. I was like, who am I? You know what I mean? When I strip away, you know, all the titles, or when I take off all the masks, at the end of the day, who am I? And I was like, and who do I want to be once I strip all that away? So I started to kind of follow passion in life. You know what I mean? Because passion leads to purpose. And I was like, well, where's my passion at? Well, what makes me happy? What would I do for free? Like, what would I just wake up and be like, this is what I'm going to do? And it started going from a counselor to like physical therapy. And then it goes back in childhood when I bring the culinary aspect into it, because I'm like, hey, you know, I can cook for people, you know what I mean? And I can make it nutritious and healthy and so on and so forth. so that, they're not just their souls fed, but, their bodies fed. So throughout my whole life, I've tried to experience, different experiences that all start in passion. If I love to do it, you know what I mean, then that's when I go for it. I always try to say that if it makes me uncomfortable, then I should do it. And most people that meet me are like, man, you're an extrovert. I'm really not. I'm an introvert. But I know that the only way for me to grow is to embrace being an extrovert.
Nice.
So I just follow the passion, man. That's what led me to it. And the passion led me to purpose, and purpose led me to people. And that's just how it works. And I continually do that now. I've done, for an introvert, I've done modeling, I've done acting, I've tested myself. And it's funny because, I've done like maybe 3 or 4 low budget movies, a couple Christian movies, whatnot. And before each movie, modeling thing, I try to talk myself out of it. I'm literally like, that voice is so like prevalent in my head to be like, you're not good enough to do this. You're going to start stuttering. You're going to mess up. Why don't you act like you got the flu? Call off. Don't do it. And it makes me so mad, it makes me follow through. I'm like, you will not stop my destiny. You will not hinder my future. You will be your worst enemy. If you allow those thoughts and things to have power over you. You know what I mean? And I refuse to let that happen. So I tried different things, and I just follow that passion. It goes back to following that passion. But I also saw it, when it came to my moms and my grandmother and things like that, the way they would cook, and that they would just love to do that. And the reactions of people when they made something good, and they could just feel like the love was in the food. And I was like, man, how amazing. Yeah, how amazing is it to give someone food, that's made with love, and they feel the love through the food. Because, you think back to when you were a kid, when your parents or somebody that cared about you made you something from love, you didn't just taste it, you felt it. You gave them this look like, man, that good looking out, garbage, that's love. So you can always transfer that energy, and I just followed that, and I was like, you know what, I want to leave that impact in other people. But I want nothing in return, because I think you have a lot of people out here that, do things for rewards. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about, I'm going to give this homeless person $10, but I want to put it up on Facebook so everybody knows. It's not about that. It's really not about that. You plant a seed that they won't forget. It's not about that recognition from anybody else. You're showing people who you are by you doing that money. It's not about the reward. The reward is this is who I am as a human being, and I want to let you know that we're out here and we care.
Yeah. Love that, man. I think we need more of that, right?
Yeah. The world is struggling right now.
Oh, yeah, in many ways. I think it's really good, though. You are going to be a physical therapist. That's the route you want to go. You want to do the cooking. I really like your attitude. Because if you want to be a physical therapist, you're going to be around people that are, and again, me working in a gym, I see it. There's a PT in our gym, so I'll see when he has some of his clients walk in as patients. They got broken legs and they play a sport in college. They got broken arms. They got torn ACLs. They're down. Their morale, they're down. I really feel as though somebody like you who has a great outlook, just the way you're talking right now, is awesome. You're definitely going to be someone who's going to not only physically bring them back to health, but mentally also. I read a stat the other day. It's funny. 1/3 of healing. 1/3 of healing when you're going through anything, whether it's physical, whatever it is all positive. All positive. So if you don't do any physical therapy and you're just positive, then you're 1/3 on your way to healing. I thought that was pretty cool. But I think having you in a situation where people are, as I said, feeling negative, feeling down, the way you're talking right now, it's awesome. So I feel like you're just going to be the complete PT, not only physically helping them, mentally, also too with the food. There's a really big PT actually. You've probably heard of the best football player ever to play the game in the world. Probably will go down as the best football player ever, Tom Brady. Yes, I am from New England. Call me biased, but he is the best player ever because he has 5. He probably will get 6 or 7 rings. He's not done. He also dates a supermodel, so I mean, he's just like, but
Yeah,
he's living at a pretty high level.
But anyways, what I'm getting at is he honestly, whenever they say, Tom, what's your secret? Every single time, there's this guy, Alex Guerrero, who's a PT, who's doing exactly what you want to do. He puts all of his patients, everybody, on meal plans, gluten-free. You can eat this, you can eat that. And along with him doing the physical therapy, it's worked wonders with people. I think it's definitely an up-and-coming thing in your field, too. But what do you have on him? You got the mental side. Yeah, I feel like you are a full-package PT right now. So I think the route you're going, what you're doing, it's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost a 3-pronged approach. And it's not like, hey, I just broke my arm, I need to go see a PT guy. It's like, hey, I just got, you know, and that's what I look at is you're motivating people that get broken lives. You know, for me, like getting fired from a job or, you know, certain things, you're not in the job or the career that you love or whatever. Like you feel kind of broken sometimes. You feel like where am I going? What am I doing? And a lot of times it takes that 3-pronged approach. Like I've noticed in the last 2.5, 3 weeks when I'm not as physical or I'm not doing yoga, I'm not working out, things have been bothering. And I was talking to Eric about this. Things bother me from these old fucking hags that I work with more than before, you know. So I think a lot of times when you're not eating healthy, when you're not active, when you're, you know, you're not as social as you are, you tend to just, you're not living optimally, and then all of a sudden you become, I've noticed, I'm just speaking from experience, I become more irritable, or things may piss me off, or, you know, and I'm like, what is going on? Like, that's almost that negative voice being like, that, what that guy just said, you should take that to heart, you should take it personal, you should get mad, but then in reality you're like, what does that guy have to say that is really going to make or change the outcome of my life? And that's what Eric and I talked about earlier in the week, is like, what the hell is this guy really going to say that's going to fucking make you, that's really going to change the course of your life? And the reality is nothing. And I think when you talk to people, it's like this broken arm or this broken scenario in their life, it doesn't define you. You can let it try to define you, but it's, you know, it's still your choice. And that's the thing I'm trying to learn and really like cement in my mentality, is it's my choice to let Jim come in here and ruin my fucking day, or if he says something that makes me mad, not let it ruin my day. Like, I have that choice.
Exactly.
But it's not easy. It's not fucking easy. But
no, it's not.
That's a choice.
And I always say, like, you know, stagnant water draws mosquitoes. So when all that negativity and all that other stuff, or, you know, when you don't feel like that you need to go to the gym or something like that, you're drawing mosquitoes. Keep it moving. Move past all of that stuff. You gotta be like that river and keep it moving, and then no mosquitoes will be able to take place. And that's mental mosquitoes, that's physical mosquitoes. Like, the reason that stuff bothers you, and it bothers me sometimes too, if I miss a day with working out or my nutrition falls off, because we're all human and we make mistakes, then I feel like crap. And I'm like, dude, you're stagnant right now. Keep it moving. Get yourself up. You know, hit the punching bag or something like that. And the reason that you feel like this is for the simple fact that deep down, whether you can see it yet or whether you know it yet, you know what I mean, you know where you need to be in life. You know that there's no limit to what you can accomplish and what you can do. And once you get to the point on your journey where you can visualize that, then you'll start to walk towards that, and you won't be as stagnant. We're all going to have periods where we're stagnant for a little bit, but you got to get it moving. The faster you move it, the less mosquitoes you got to worry about moving past.
I feel like
I like that analogy.
And I've heard this analogy, and I'm not really sure if you guys have watched her or anything. There's a girl, Mel Robbins, and she has a very interesting way of talking. If you haven't looked her up on YouTube or anything, yeah, I'd highly recommend her. talking about stagnant, falling off, and negative talk, she has a really interesting way of basically she says that, and I 100% agree with this, and you probably know this, LJ, you're going to school for physical therapy. The brain is a protective mechanism to the body. So if you hear of somebody that did something and failed, if you failed at it before, if you heard that nobody's done it, if you've seen nobody do it, then you back off. You just you're timid, you're afraid. I know you were talking about a few minutes ago at the beginning about trying to talk yourself out of something. It's because, and that whole thing right there is your brain trying to save you, because it feels like you're about to get into a situation that you can get hurt from. And it's funny that when you
or fail,
are,
right? I mean, or literally fail, and you feel like
exactly,
blah, blah, blah,
exactly,
blah,
100%. And it's funny, I may have said this in the last podcast we did, so I may go 2 for 2 on this. Not a lot of people know when you are excited and when you are afraid, the exact same things are happening in your body. It's just how the person perceives the situation, the environment. I may perceive it as threatening, but you may perceive it as this is awesome. It's all in how you perceive it. Your brain legitimately does this to you all the time, and it's not trying to hinder you or set you back, which this at a lot of times is what it does. But it's doing it to try and help, to save you. You have to try and override your brain just because it thinks it's trying to help you, when essentially it's kind of holding you back because it thinks it's helping you, because it thinks you're going to get hurt. I don't know, I'm not even completely off topic, but I was just thinking about that, so I randomly threw it out there.
No, that actually applies, because what I end up doing, all right, so there's like 12 months in a year, so probably about 4 of those months, I go to the gym for 30 days straight, no rest days, no excuses, and I go minimal 45 minutes, and and it's funny, like you were talking about the brain, because the first 15 days are hell. Your body, you come up with every excuse not to go. I'm too tired. I've got homework. You didn't eat this morning properly. All of this stuff that your brain is trying to hinder you from your progress. And it's like, hey, what are you doing? You trying to push us to a limit? Like, whoa, we're afraid of that limit. We don't know what's around that corner. Your gains are around that corner. Your goals are around that corner. So then you start having mind control over your brain. And you start, shut up, brain. Shut up. You ain't gonna stop me. Just because you told me not to go on day 17, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna kill it. And you'll shut your mouth. Come day 21, it becomes repetition and you become an autopilot. There's been times that I'll sit there and I'm working out. I'm like, how the hell did I get to the gym? Because it's a part of my lifestyle now. That's how it works. If anything, it's harder. Once I get day 30, it's harder to stop because it's a part of who I am now. The brain changes. Your chemistry changes. It starts being like, hey, it's gym time. All right, it's gym time. Let's go with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just lifestyle stuff. Like, the thing is that people underestimate what we are. It's like there's no limit. I hate when people have excuses. I can't stand excuses because I'm just like this. You just basically said you're not good enough to reach or see your potential when you come up with an excuse. There's no such thing as excuses. If you want it, go get it. It's not going to be handed to you. Go get it. You got to fight for it, though. Everybody wants that spot. You got to fight harder. I tell all the people that I work with, I'm not the smartest man when it comes to being in the classroom, but I'm going to work harder than them other classmates. I'm going to show you who I am through my work ethic, and I'll learn along the way because I seek that knowledge. I'm always going to outwork you because I want it worse than you. I need it more than you. I can see it before you can see it. You know what I mean? Which inspires me to work harder for it. Every day is a grind. And it's not a grind for financial. I don't worry about money and stuff like that. It's never a grind about financial. I know a lot of miserable, wealthy people. You know, you can see how miserable they are by how many cars they got and planes they got. You know what I mean? When you take that to somebody else, they're happy with the PlayStation 4. Who's happier? Or is it equal? You know what I mean? Like, I think like stuff like that. So like my grind is just seeking more knowledge. I'm like trying to elevate myself, and I don't want to be there. And you know, I always say positivity. You know, it reaches out to other positive people. You know, like we said, we met on IG randomly, but positive seeks out positive. Negative seeks out positive. You know what I mean? Because negative needs positive. But if your positive isn't strong enough, then negative will corrupt your positive, and you'll become negative.
It's funny, whenever you try and do something or think of something or have an idea, what's the first thing that pops in your head? It's so funny. It's that thought of trying to say, nah, this is wrong. Fuck it. I shouldn't do it, right? Perfect example, you said going to the gym. I gotta go to the gym today. First thought that pops in your head is, I'm tired. I don't know if I should. So it's like we're
I have a fucking excuse right now. I mean, I work from 5:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Can't go to the gym. No, like I could fucking do something after I'm out.
Yeah,
and that's what like pisses me off as an individual. Just kind of talking on. And Eric, I know I've talked to you about this ad nauseum about waking up early, this and that. Well, like now I'm waking up early, and this is actually a thing that I want to talk to you guys about. Like, I can wake up early when I have to be at the fucking juice bar at 5:30 a.m. Why can't I wake up early when I want to be at the fucking gym at 5:30 and it's for me? And that's what that weird shift is. Why is that company or that small business more important than the small business of Tom Pizzo? And you know, that to me pisses me off. And I'm like, all right, I gotta really tear down on that.
Well, if you think about it, you should be. And again, this is how I would perceive it. I would perceive it as, you're right, your business of your body, and this is just my opinion. Maybe LJ's get a different one. The business of your body is probably one of the most important businesses. Why? Because you treat your body right, you eat right, you work out, you stay healthy. I freaking try and treat my body like a temple, Tom. You know, as I said, I haven't drank alcohol. I quit. I'm done since last December. I'm done with that shit. Like, you spend money, you feel like shit the next day. It's a waste of time. It does you no good. I don't do it. So I don't do that. I work out. I try and eat as healthy as I can. If you are fueling your body the best you can, you got to think about it like this. You're performing the best at work. You're performing the best at work, then maybe you get a raise or something like that. Or, you know, so my whole thing is if you're treating your body the best, if you're doing everything you can for Tom Pizzo, then it's going to give back to you in whatever way possible. And so it should be when you wake up, the thoughts that go through your head should be, all right, I gotta get up. I gotta get the fuck up today. I gotta go to the gym. Because if I go to the gym, then I'm gonna have more energy today. If I have more energy today, I'm gonna perform better at work. If I perform better, it's a trickle down effect.
A snowball,
My whole thought. It's a trickle down effect.
I had a really good chat with this lady actually at work. She's a little bit older, but she's like, we had this exact conversation. We were talking back and forth, and she's like, you know, it fucking amazes me. When I go to the gym and I think I can't go to the gym and then go to work and blah, 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 I actually feel better at work, you know, and I know that for you guys, you work out a lot, and I've been out of it a little bit, but, you know, when you talk yourself into doing it, and then you surprise yourself and be like, wow, I got fucking energy. And then you're like, well, that was a false whatever. It's a false story that you're telling yourself. And we talk about that a lot, but it's also, you have to experience it. You have to feel that feeling of, hey, I did it. I told myself I couldn't do it, but I did it and I feel fine. So, I don't know, it's interesting.
Well, I mean, I look at it like, I kind of look at it similarly where I'm like, you know, just different words, but I'm like, you got to love yourself enough to take care of yourself first. You know, the first thing in the morning should be like this, I need to take care of myself. You know what I mean? Like, your body, like you were saying, like the body is the temple. You know what I mean? You got to take care of that. That's the vehicle that you're going to accomplish all those goals in. So I look at like health in my body as in, I know that my goal is to get, to A, B, or C, right? So why would I deprive myself that? What if I have a heart attack before I get it? Then I've done that to myself. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to have the vehicle. It's like not changing. It's like trying to go all the way, to Canada, and I haven't changed the oil in my car in 6 weeks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, the goal is Canada. So if I don't love my car, you know what I mean, I'm not going to take care of it. But if I expect it to be the vessel that gets me to my end game and my goals, I got to take care of it. You know what I mean? And it drives better. It feels better. That's your body. Like it all goes into how much you love yourself. Do you want to be around for when you're accomplishing those goals, when you're changing people's lives? I always say that what if you pass away and you still had 10,000 lives still to save? You've had, 20,000 viewers that were going to listen to your podcast and be like, man, he said something on this day, that really changed my life, versus he passed away and now that knowledge and wisdom goes with you. You know what I mean? You got to take care of yourself. Not to mention, I always say like, the proof of what you're talking is you are. You're a walking advertisement for what you're saying. You know what I mean? It's not just about what you say. It's about what you look. It's about what you feel. It's about what you exude. People aren't going to believe what you're saying, you know what I mean, if you're not taking care of your body, which is one of the most important things to take care of. Your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, you know what I mean, your energy. You got to protect all those things, and you got to nurture them and take care of them. Like, you are a priority. That's the thing about, like, if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to help somebody else? You are the priority.
Yeah, you can.
It's all about you, brother.
I love that, man.
It sounds selfish and say like it's all about me. It is. It's all about me so that I can be all about you. That's how it works.
Oh yeah, definitely, without a doubt, definitely. Because think about it like this. For example, let's just say you're a speaker. You're not taking care of yourself. You're feeling like shit that day. You don't give your best speech, or you have a presentation to give for the business. You don't give the best presentation because you're not feeling your best. Maybe you don't get the account that you guys are trying to close or whatnot because you weren't feeling your best because you didn't give the best speech. Just little stuff like that matters. Little stuff like that adds up. Little stuff like that makes a difference.
I'm going to call myself out too. And honestly, I had that, I told you, Eric, on Friday, I went on a date. So I worked from 11 to 9. And then I went on a date at 10 o'clock and basically stayed up, through the fucking night, hanging out, falling in love basically. And had some fucking drinks. And I'm just being honest with you guys, because this is where I'm at. Like, I'm still fighting that battle back and forth, and like I wake up and I have to work from 8 to 6 at the bar, and I made mistakes. I did. I wasn't my best. Like, I didn't obviously feel the greatest. I had fucking Dunkin' Donuts sandwich for breakfast. I just didn't feel good, and I could feel that. But it's like I don't know. You just go back and forth. You're like,
yeah,
you're not. You know where you want to be, but you take these like steps back and you're like, why the fuck did I do that? Did that really get me any further along in my life other than like, making out, hooking up, blah, blah, blah with a girl and having, I mean, it was fun, but are those the type of decisions that I really should be saying no to and saying, hey, got to go to bed, got to be up at 7 a.m. instead of going to bed at 4 a.m. and getting up at 7. You're not putting yourself in the best position to succeed.
Well, and you got to look at like your lifestyle is going to determine like how far you want to take your life. You know what I mean? Like, if you're happy with this is as far as it may go for you. You know what I mean? Like, if hanging out and making out with the girls or the girl or whatnot, it was fun, but it didn't fulfill you. You know what I mean? You're not fulfilled from it. Sometimes we got to fall to encourage that rise. I always say it's like the phoenix, man. Sometimes you got to burn before you're going to fly. Just like that. So the reason you feel that way is because, like, you know that that's not your nature. Like, if it really was who you are and what you wanted, you wouldn't feel bad about it. You'd be like, yeah. You know what And I always say, you gotta, like, you know, you want to hang out with the girls and whatnot and do all that stuff. You'll feel a lot better had you went out to the gym and incorporated that in your life somewhere. And or if you had accomplished what you had set out to accomplish that day and still hung out with the girl, you'd be like, yo,
yeah.
I'm fulfilled not because of her or hanging out with her, but because of what I accomplished for myself. Like, self-love is the most important thing when it comes to, like, dating or relationships and all of that stuff. Because, you know, I always say, like, when it comes to the whole dating game, you know what I mean? It used to be like, you know, I used to say, I'm the steak, you the mashed potatoes. And then I realized, hold up. I don't want to date somebody who's secondary. I want to be the steak and you can be the lobster. We both main dishes. You know what I mean? Hey, fuck them mashed potatoes. I want steak and lobster. You know what I mean? But you gotta love yourself to know, like, I'm happy with just a steak. Don't get me wrong. If it's just a steak, I'm happy. But if it's lobster, I appreciate the lobster. I don't need the lobster, but I appreciate the lobster. You know what I mean? So you just got, man, the more you focus on you, you will be surprised the caliber of the type of girls. You might meet a girl, I mean, if this isn't the one, you might meet a girl who's like, hey, like, I got to go to the gym. Our first date might be at the gym if that's your passion, if that's what you love. You know what I mean? You gotta follow it. You'd be surprised when the more you focus on your love for yourself and your selfless love for everybody else, the doors and opportunities that open up. It just happens. You know what I mean? It's like the laws of attraction. Like what you put out.
Yeah, let's elaborate on that. Give me one. I feel like there's got to be some, like, one that pops out in your mind. You're like, fuck that. Whether it was like a period of time when you were, you know, maybe you were in a kind of one of your humble spots where you're kind of in a low point, and then you made choices to get in a better position. Then all of a sudden, an opportunity opened up. Like, is there any that pop out like that might?
Oh yeah, like
and about.
I mean, I remember where, like, I had just kind of graduated with my nursing degree, and I was kind of like, man, like, I don't really want to do this because people die in the hospital. For some reason, that has slipped my mind going through school, that people actually die in the hospital. So I was just, like, blew my mind when I realized that. But I was kind of like, I feel like, you know, I don't really know if I want to be a nurse. I don't know if my spirit can handle, like, you know, coming home and people dying or kids dying or just any of that stuff. And I was just like at a place where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Now, lo and behold, when the job that I had been working before that, I had worked with, you know, a whole bunch of people and like, you know, I was just me. I was always just me and the best person that I could try to be. So when I graduated, I got a phone call and I was literally just like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to do a nurse. I definitely don't want to take that damn NCLEX and try to pass that damn thing. And I tried to pass it once and didn't. And I was just like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. So because of who I was and I was just being me, I got a phone call like probably a week after I graduated, and came in for an interview at this job, and they were like, hey, a lady that you work with recommended that, you know, you'd be great for this position and so on and so forth. And I was like, really? And I was like, I never really did anything like this before. They were like, your degree's perfect for it. We've already got it checked out. We'll start you off at blah, 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 and you can start. I didn't even fill out an application. Never gave the man a resume. I got the job before I did any of that, just because of word of mouth. And I've been a counselor at the place for like going on 10 years next year. But literally it's because of who I was in that moment. I was just like, man, what you put out, you get back. Like, doors are opening. When you're at your lowest, doors are opening for you. They're just waiting for you to just walk through it. Just get through that darkness. Get through that self-doubt of not knowing and know that you're going to be okay. Like, at your lowest moments in life, when you look back at your lowest moments in life, look at you now. You already made it past those. Look at where you're at now. You've already made it past them. So why would you doubt yourself ever? You are undefeated in your journey of life. You've made it. You continually make it. You continually prove your strength, your resilience, and who you are. So why do we doubt ourselves when things get hard? We should embrace the fact that we've already overcome so much. What's another obstacle?
More like just bring it rather than saying, fuck, I can't get through this.
Yeah. But you're undefeated. You're undefeated. And that's what I started to realize. Like I think it's Suicide Prevention Month or something like that. And I always think about it, you know, when you're at your lowest, okay, and you're going through so much, You don't realize how many doors are open that are right around the corner. They're just waiting for you to turn that corner. Pick yourself up. You know what I mean? Put on your pants, put on your boots, get ready for war, and battle through that darkness. Come around that corner and walk through that door because you've earned it. You know what I mean? But expect there's going to be more darkness. That's the thing about it. Never take your boots off. You're always going to have a battle. Keep them bad boys laced and ready for the next trial and tribulation because it's coming. However, you've already become stronger. You've already got your armor on. You're already ready for that battle. You just got to believe in yourself and go through it, man. That's it. You know, I'm more afraid of when everything's going right than when everything's going wrong.
That's a good point.
Yeah. When things are going wrong, you're like, okay, I'm going to hunker down. I'm going to do what I got to do to survive. You know, when things are going right, you're like, all right, when's it coming? What's going to happen? What? You know,
when's the shoe going to drop?
Yeah, like it's going to drop. It's just a matter of when.
Oh, man.
So, but yeah, it's just all about embracing that stuff, man. Like, I always look at it like, you know, life is the most valuable thing that we have, you know, and the time in that is limited. So you really got to take more opportunities to just live it. You got so many people out here that are surviving it, but not many people are living.
Yeah, that's tough, right? I mean, especially here, like you got me in a situation where I feel like I'm at one of the lower, if not the lowest spot in my life. You know, I'm 30. You know, still got a ton of life left, but you know, I'm Airbnb in my apartment out. I talked to Eric about this a lot. You know, I'm working at a bar, working at a juice bar. I'm trying to do everything I can and I told him it's like whatever it takes, you know, whatever I can do to make my life work and make it revolve is what I'm going to do and just keep, like you said, walking through the doors that open up. Even though they're not the ideal doors that I want to be walking through, I have to, you know, but there's that fine line, right, of saying no to opportunities and, you know, having something else come up. And that's, you know, that's tough too. You know, I don't know. I'm in an interesting point. It's actually, I feel like Eric and I feel like a lot of the people that we've talked to, it's what I've needed to get through these times, which is actually, I think the best fucking part about this whole podcast is like, I've latched on and used a lot of the words that either you have talked about right now or, you know, our other guests or what Eric and I talk about. That to me is what shows me that I know we're doing the right thing and we just got to keep going on.
Yeah.
Because it helps you and you buy into it. Like, where are you going? Like, you're bought in. That's all you need. You need to have that belief in what you're doing and how it's affecting you as a human being, too.
Well, we're all like I said, we're all human beings, and like, you know, I pride myself on being humble because I know anything that I have can be taken away, or you know, something could happen and whatnot. But you have to understand, we're all on this journey of figuring out who we are. You know what I mean? And we're all trying to figure out what is happiness. You know what I mean? What is love? Like a lot of people, you know, don't even understand what love is. Love is like literally unconditional. Like, and to understand that makes you vulnerable, and people don't like being vulnerable. But the more you get to know who you are, you know, and your journey, the better off, you know, you're going to be and the more people that you're going to affect. Like, you know, you're at the juice bar and whatnot doing your thing, you know what I mean? Be the best person there that you can be. Like, that, the moment you walk in, it shouldn't be like, oh, my God, I'm in a deadbeat type. You know, it shouldn't be like, it should be like this. You know what? I'm going to own this.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. This is my bar now. I'm going to let everybody know who I am. And, dude, people will offer you jobs. But, man, you got a great personality, dude. Would you ever consider working here or doing this? This spot can be you. Like, shit, you're in a perfect position, to just sell yourself. Like, people
meet people.
Yeah, people will be addicted to your energy. They don't look. They may come for the juice, but they'll stay for your charisma and your personality. You know what I mean? Like,
I like it.
Make it yours. Own it. I always say, own that shit. That's yours. Own it.
I love it. Fucking great.
Yeah,
we're getting fucking up there, man. What are we at? 50, almost half. Definitely over half hour. We normally try to keep on guest shows. Obviously, we always run over. We always say a half hour for when Eric and I talk, but we always try to keep it real with guests and make sure that, you know, we chat about everything.
Yeah. No, I get it. Oh, Are we keeping going, or are we calling it a wrap? Or?
No. Well, basically, I just didn't know. I think Eric, you still there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah, just, I mean, obviously, if there's anything else we want to chat about.
Me? I mean, I don't know if I can. I don't know if there's anything I can talk about or anything else. I mean, I just try to be like, honestly, I just try to be a human being. Like, I do this thing with my clients where, you know, and this will be, I'll say this and I'll let you guys go, but I always say, like, first of all, never underestimate who you are, your power, and the energy that you possess. And then we do this game where we'll go to Walmart or something like that, and I'll tell them, I was like, this is how powerful your energy is. I want you to pick any lady or any person who's in one of these lines who looks the most miserable and meanest. And they'll pick whoever that is, and I'm like, no, watch me get a smile. And I will go through that person's line, and my objective is to relate to that person and try to lift them up a little bit. And I've yet to not get a smile. Your energy can be contagious, and you can affect the trajectory of anybody around you. You know what I mean? Once you start to know who you are and you embrace that and you grow that, like a smile, they'll never forget that smile. And that may be the moment that they needed in their life to just have a little hope. You know what I mean? If all we do at the end of the day is inspire somebody and plant seeds of hope, then we've done our job. You know, they may grow somewhere else. You know, you may be able to water it from time to time, or they can water it themselves. But that's our job as human beings. You know, there's so much detachment in the world, and we start to lose the connection that we have with one another, that we're all connected in this. Man, we are all paying taxes. We are all probably struggling, whether it be financially, mentally, or physically. We are all in this together. So where my fellow human being may be strong, I may be weak, but together we're a force to be reckoned with. That's how it's supposed to be. There's a big puzzle that we're all a part of, but not everybody wants to fit in it.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, for me, I can only talk to me and what I'm going through, what I'm experiencing, and I think a lot of times, you know, you talk about owning where you're at. Like, if you're in a fucking shitty job, you're in a tough situation, owning that, knowing that the next person that walks in that door could be the CEO of a company, and you having a miserable face on, you know, or just having that sense of, oh, fuck, this isn't going anywhere. I don't know why I'm in this job. But if you have that sense of ownership and that person comes through the door and they're like, who is this guy? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
Why the fuck, like, almost, why are you here? Let's talk and see where it goes. And I've had that happen in the past, and I've connected with people, networked with people, you know, but it's also being open to those opportunities. And I think being open to those opportunities means that you aren't miserable as a person regardless of where you're at. Like, if you're working at a juice bar, if you're like, you know, I know, Eric, you were an intern one time. Okay, you're not getting paid to do something. Like, for me, I connected with a guy that I used to, I was going to start a business with, but he does videography, and he invited me Wednesday to, like, basically help him record a conference. So I'm going to be doing, like, you know, just watching audio, maybe moving cameras around, but video and that type of stuff is some things that I don't know, I'm interested in. And so he reached out of the fucking blue, totally out of the blue. He's like, man, I'm going to be in Charlotte. Like, I got this gig. Can you work, you know, $125 for basically 8 to 5? And I told him, yeah, I'd love to, you know. So, like, things like that you just don't realize pop up out of nowhere. And who knows? Maybe me and that guy work together in the future in 5 years. But, you know, those relationships always seem to come around, I feel like, at times when you don't really expect them.
And that's the great thing about it, because, like, you literally are owning, like, you're owning that moment. You know what I mean? Like, I would say, like, you know, it's kind of like, you know, your island. What's the upkeep of your island look like? Because if your island is upkept well, which means, you know, taking care of yourself and who you are as a person and what you exude, people will want to visit your island. Just like that. They'll want to be around the island. Hey, I want to go see so-and-so at the juice bar. I want to, you know, go hang out with so-and-so, because every time I'm around him, like, his energy just, like, you know, just makes me feel better. You know what I mean? And I want to work with somebody. You think about the worst job you've ever had in your life, but if you work that job with good people, it's not really that bad of a job. It still sucks, but it's not that bad. You can get through it.
Yeah, exactly, because you're laughing, you're joking, whatever. And that's funny that you say that, because even at the fucking juice bar, there's people that you work with, and this happens all the time. And I realize that some people don't have a personality. Some people do. This is a really funny story real quick, and then we can wrap it up. But I'm sitting there talking, these three girls come in, and they had just worked out, and the one started talking to the other two, and I'm sitting there trying to take their order, and the one started talking about her breast implant that like moved to the side or something, and I was just like inside I was laughing, and I go over and I talk to the one girl that I'm working with. Her name is Sally. She's like maybe 5 foot, like real short. But funny as how like she's totally like you'd look at her and be like, oh my god, like she's like 5 foot, nothing, whatever. But her personality is hilarious. And I go, yeah, I just overheard somebody talking about the breast implant. Not really sure what that was about. And she goes, yeah, don't you just want to like leave some of that conversation out of it and just say, just enjoy it? Or she said something along the lines of like, just busting chops. And I was like, oh my god, and that's the type of people you want to be around. The people that have a sense of humor and just fucking make you laugh. And that's really what I'm finding out.
And that's the mark that you're leaving on them. They'll never forget I guarantee 10 years down the road, they're like, the juice bar we went to, like, that brother there was cool as I don't know what, man. I heard he's like really rich and happy right now, or whatever. You know what I mean? But dude, you leaving those. I've met millionaires, you know what I mean, who own their own planes and stuff like that just by going to like, maybe I went to a bar with my girl and whatnot, and like it was just literally like we just drew them in because we were just in our own little world, man. You can bring your world to other people's world, and they can overtake their world. Like, so, brother, just never underestimate yourself, man. It might seem like a crappy situation, but you might be opening up a door every day for your future self. Yeah, I mean,
appreciate that. No, it's hard to see immediately, right? But when you talk to people and you get their experiences, their perspective, it helps to put your context of your life in perspective to help you get through it and really keep an optimistic attitude and not just give up on yourself because you think you're in a bad spot.
Yeah. And that's all it's for. But see, that's why your support system, man, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be around like-minded individuals.
Yeah, it's everything. It's been everything to me in the last fucking 3-4 months. I mean, it has been one of my lowest, if not, like I said, the lowest point in my life. And I think leaning on Eric and leaning on the people that we talked to, and it's been a pretty remarkable 3-4 months of doing this. So, but man, obviously don't want to take up too much more of your time. We really appreciate it. I mean, obviously, this has been totally random. I don't know how the hell we even connected, man. We really appreciate you. I think you initially engaged with our content. So, obviously if you can think back on how you engage with us, we appreciate that, That's a big part of why we do what we do. And we always talked about that was our $1 million payment, was just getting in touch with one person. And we've already got in touch with numerous people, and, whether we impact them positively, I think we're doing a great job of that. I think we're doing it to a point where people see our content, and even though we're just starting, we get to a point where, hey, one person sees it and they're affected by it positively. So we appreciate it.
No, I actually was humbled by the whole the asking me to be on the pod and the whole reach out, because I was just like, I was just doing my own IG thing, and really, you don't expect anything to happen, but I always say it's a blessing whenever I meet, new cool people and whatnot. And it's always humbled that, anybody would want to, talk to me about anything. I'm always just kind of like, this is free of charge. If it helps you out, that's cool and all. And maybe it'll help me out too. Cause a lot of times as I'm talking, I'm also reinforcing what I'm thinking. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, yeah.
No one's both ways. Yeah, I appreciate it. If y'all ever want me on again, just hit me up, and I'm always down there to shoot the breeze with you guys.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, and normally at the end of every episode, we call it the grinder of the week. And we just shout out to who we think is, basically embodying the values and just how it is. There's a lot of things in life that we come up against, and I feel like there's billions of people in the world, and we might, at the current moment, certain people that are connected with us, or maybe even people we know, might be in situations where the people that they're interacting, the environment that they're interacting with may not be ideal, right? They may have to deal with that piece of shit boss or the friend that's a pain in the ass. But we have to keep it in perspective that there's billions of people in this world that have like-mindedness to us, and we just have to seek them out. And I think this is a great example that, one, social media, you know, is unreal to be able to connect with random people that have the same viewpoint as you. And if you were in Charlotte, if you were in Boston, you know, we'd be getting together, hanging out, whatever. And it's the power of having your mind open rather than being like, oh, that person's always on fucking social media. What does he have a life? Does he do anything but post on social media? Well, we're building actual connections on there. It's not like we're just fucking posting with random people. And I think that's the biggest thing that we found out is there's people behind these accounts, and for us to interact and say, hey man, let's get you on, let's talk to you, and figure out who the hell is behind these accounts.
Yeah, that's real. That's real.
I can speak for myself. I mean, I've been pleasantly surprised, man. I appreciate it.
No, anytime. I'm always like, I just appreciate the knowledge and whatnot, because like I literally kind of go to the third person where I hear myself talking. I'm like, man, that helped me out through this moment, or you know, it's just kind of nice how you share everything.
Happens too.
Yeah,
that happens
like
to me too.
Awesomeness, man. It's really awesome stuff.
Well, like I said,
really.
grind of the week. Go for it, Eric.
No, go ahead. You got it.
No, I just want to, you know, obviously shout you out, LJ. I mean, it's been a pleasure to have you on. I mean, episode 22, we've been at this for 22 weeks. I mean, that's almost half a year. And while we got a huge, you know, long journey to go, I mean, for you to be on in such an early part of our journey, it means a lot for us to have you be humble and just say, hey, you know, regardless of where you're at, you know, it means a bunch to us because we know we're at the beginning. We know we're just starting, and for us to talk to you and document exactly where you were at, you know, in terms of your humble beginnings, and then you go through a nursing degree, you finish it, you don't want to do it, you're not even doing a PT, you're going to be a culinary. Like, you have this tremendous vision for where you want your life to be, and then to hear you talk about it, and then everything that comes out of your mouth has helped me in this moment in my life. So I just want to thank you for helping me personally. And then, you know, I want to shout you out for Grind of the Week. I mean, I think you're doing it. You're living the journey for greatness. I mean, you are embodying everything that Eric and I think stand for in this kind of movement that we have. So, yeah, just thank you again, man.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Like I said, like, you know, Brian, it's you guys too, man, because there'd be no me, you know what I mean, on a podcast without you guys. So, you know, I can't take any of that credit, man. It's like you guys followed your heart and, you know, we connected and you put me out here. So, like, you know, I'm always like, you know, what I got to say and what you guys got to say is because of what you guys created, man. So keep doing what y'all doing, man. You blessing many people, man. You inspire many people, you know what I mean? And, you know, you got that train of success and people are jumping on. So, you know, I just met you guys that longer, but I'm already proud of where you're headed, man. Y'all both doing good things.
Thank you.
Well, appreciate that. And I know you in your field, I'm in the field right now that, not in the exact PT world, I'm in that training world field. I know just with I don't know a lot of people, I'm not going to lie, with your kind of mindset in the field. I know you're probably a friggin' beast at what you do in physical therapy. I wouldn't mind tasting some of your food that you cook too. I guarantee you're probably a really good chef.
Mm-hmm.
I think my whole thought is you're going to be very, very successful at what you do, not only in the PT world, but making people feel better, your clients and whatnot too. So I think the future for you, my friend, is very, very bright. I would just say keep going, keep doing what you're doing, keep with your mindset, and never stop. You know, there's people like you in this world, they make it a better place. So we just want to, again, thank you, reiterate how happy we are we had you on the show, and just thank you again. We really appreciate you taking the most important thing out of your life, that's your time, to hop on here and chat with us for a little.
Oh, anytime, brother. Anytime. Like, literally, anytime.
Yeah. Well, keep at it, man. We'll be in touch for sure, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Anytime, brothers.
All right.
All right, man.
See you, LJ.
All right, take care, brother.
Yep. Take care. Bye.
Bye.